Siyaqhubeka bakwethu lana ku masterclass. Akusilona nje class la noma yini. I-class lo master leli. Angisho ukuthi ngu-master kodwa ngiyenza umsebenzi ofanele wenziwe o-master. U-master class. Physical science, photoelectric effect. Ake sibheke i-question eyabuzwa nge-World Cup 2010. Kune World Cup la eSouth Africa. Kwaphuma le question nje. Sibona ukuthi ihambisana yini ne-World Cup leyo question. Ithi ke question question number 12. Question number 12 yephepha la ngo-2010. But sunlight is a major source of ultraviolet light. Sunlight is a major source, which means from the sun we get ultraviolet light. Now, as a bit overexposure, 12.1 year call. Statement: overexposure to ultraviolet light could have harmful effects on humans. If you are exposed kakhulu kuma ultraviolet light, then kungaba nama effects angekho right. They say harmful effects on humans. State one of these harmful effects on humans. Ama ultraviolet lights siyazi ukuthi enze njani. I-light mayishaya kumzimba wakho, especially ultraviolet, ama photons azokhipha ama electrons. Then mayokhipha ama electrons ngoba phela i-work function yomzimba wakho it's less than the energy of a photon ye-ultraviolet. Bese yangena kuwena lawo ma-photons, then bese uyaqala uba nani, sobona uba nani ne-skin cancer. Which means one of the harmful effects on humans is skin cancer. So you find that abelungu katnesni ngenxa yokuthi abanayo what skin esimnyama sinazo, then you find that bona ultraviolet light affects them more than skin sabantu abamnyama. So that is why isikhathini esiningi baba nama skin cancer is because of overexposure to ultraviolet light. There's a medical practitioner odokotela nabo bonke legenge esesibhedlela exposes surgery equipment to ultraviolet light. Le equipment abasika ngayo umzimba womuntu mebekuhlinza bekhipha amazinyo benzani by exposure that to ultraviolet light. Give a reason for doing this overexposure to ultraviolet light. So which means ultraviolet lights guma equipment our surgery, what they do, that ultraviolet light ibulala ama-germs, iwabulala kanjani? Photoelectric effect. Ama-photons akhona, they will release ama-electrons, and ukuphuma ama-electrons destroy ama-germs. So ama-germs ayafa ngenxa yalokho. Sakwazi kwamnandi namhlanje iscience isisa ka medicine. Ngiyacabanga nawe soyahala manje ukuthi sengibona ngathi ngisa ka medicine. Hayi I masterclass ayikusa ka medicine. Now, next question. A certain metal has a work function of 3.84 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. A certain metal has a work function of 3.84 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. The work function of a certain metal is 3.84 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. The surface of the metal is irradiated with ultraviolet light of wavelength. So we have that metal It's irradiated with ultraviolet light of wavelength 200 nanometer. That is a metal, a certain metal is irradiated with 200 nanometer, causing photoelectrons to be emitted. Causing photoelectrons to be emitted. Uma ephuma ama photoelectrons. It means the energy of a photon is greater than the work function. This is what it means. Photoelectrons are only emitted when the energy of a photon is greater than the work function. Now they say calculate the energy of photon of ultraviolet light. Energy of photon. Energy of photon is equals to HF. Kodwa ke sinikezwe ilambda okumele siyise to ama length, it's 200 times 10 to the power minus 9 meters, which is 2 times 10 to the power minus 7 meters. So lambda yethu le. So we say energy of a photon or energy of light is equals to hc over lambda, or we can say but F is equals to c over lambda. So we have c over lambda, then therefore energy of a photon is that. So what is h? Says h, which is 6,63 times 10 to the power minus 34. 6,63 times 10 to the power minus 34 times the speed of light is 3 times 10 to the power 8, 3 times 10 to the power 8, over how much? Over 2 times 10 to the power minus 7. So we'll have 1,5. Okay, so we'll have Mrs. calculator times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So we have which is 9,945 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So I told you in Jalo, that is the energy of a photon of ultraviolet light. So sebeyabuza ke kwi-question elandelayo. 4 marks lona kade ngikwenza nalawa amanye ama-questions aphezulu boku-1 mark. Then we have calculate the maximum velocity of the emitted photoelectron. The maximum velocity of the emitted photoelectrons. Okay. Siyazi ukuthi uma energy of a photon is greater than the work function, which means energy of a photon job inkulu ilingana ne work function plus kinetic energy. Siyazi energy of a photon sitholile, siyazi work function sesingatholi kinetic energy. Mase sitholile kinetic energy sesifuna i-velocity of the electron. Now, I guess if energy of a photon, it's 9,945 times 10 to the power minus 19. Work function 3,84 times 10 to the power minus 19 plus kinetic energy. So we have kinetic energy of, we have minus 3,84. We have 6,105, which is 6,105 times 10 to the power minus 19 joules then sesifuna i-velocity yakhona, sesinayo i-kinetic energy. Then what do we have? But kinetic energy is half mv squared. Siyayazi equation kinetic energy, half mv squared. Then we have 2 times kinetic energy over m is equals to v squared. 2 times what is kinetic energy? 6,105 times 10 to the power minus 19 over what is the mass of an electron? The mass of an electron, it's 9,11 times 10 to the power minus 31, which is 9,11 times 10 to the power minus 31. So sifuna square root salapo, that will give us v. So sifuna square root salapo. Now see sebenzise manje equation la. I have something of this nature. Then we say velocity, it's 1,34,028 times 10 to the power 12. So what is the square root salapo now? As for the square root salapo, says you have a square root of 1,34,028 times 10 to the power 12. You tell me now 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is velocity is 1,1577 times 10 to the power 6 meters per second. That is the velocity of it's a velocity of photoelectrons, who are max au 4. The velocity, calculate the maximum velocity of emitted photoelectrons, then nathola leyo velocity engaka enkulu kangako. Ake ngisule nje la ukuze ungadideki sibone ukuthi siyenze kanjani, sibone kahle nje. Nansi velocity of a photon, which is 1,1577 times 10 to the power minus 6. Now, the last question, it will photoelectrons be emitted from the surface of this metal if it's irradiated with X-rays? Give a reason for your answer. If it's irradiated with X-rays, we know X-rays, they have less frequency than ultraviolet rays. So then the X-rays, the photoelectrons will not be emitted from the surface of this metal because the X-rays have a less frequency. So that is that. So sesiyabona ukuthi sithola kanjani.